Hey guys, it's Roscoe, so let's continue on with Screaming Citadel. So, the aftermath, the Queen and the wreckage of her breakfast hall there, lying on the ground. Your Highness, and she says, such a shame, I was so looking forward to feeding this morning. Lock down the Citadel, don't let them escape. And her servant says, I shall deal with them myself. No, says the Queen. Let the menagerie do that. So Luke and Leia, Luke and Aphra are leaving. Aphra explains how dangerous the symbiotes are, that even the Empire doesn't try and weaponize them. It will just destroy them. When they run across the menagerie, and there's all sorts of races, like a double-headed hammerhead there. I think this is a Tals and various other things. That might be a Duros, for instance. Yes, and in the meantime, Aphra's trying to get hold of 000. We're in position. We need to ride out of here and fast. Ah, yes, it's all gone to hell, hasn't it? I wish I could say I was surprised. Unfortunately, Master, we're a bit indisposed ourselves right now. Do you think you'll be able to cling to life for a few more moments? Not very likely. And there is 000. So, yes, Master, but as I said, and then it cuts off with screaming. And he says, I do appreciate all the lovely screaming, but I'm afraid that's not helping, Master Aphra. BT and I are desperately in need of orders. Given all the switching up of enemies and allies we've been through recently, are we still allowed to murder rebels? So Han, Sana and Leia have turned up in Citadel. That is just one of the variant covers. So anyway, I've said, I don't care who's with you, because she doesn't know it's them. Just get here now. So the ship, Han's flying, crashes into the Citadel. And he says, oh, you've got a misaligned aft thruster. I said, well, it is now. So anyway, good one from Sana. Said, hey, Aphra, goodbye. And shoots, but Luke deflects it with his lightsaber, which is a nice one. Yes. So they've got a plan to try and get out, but obviously it's not working very well. And it's like, she's an ex-Imperial agent, Leia says. She's as dangerous as she is unhinged. How did she even find us? And obviously Sana and Aphra look at each other. A lucky guess. So, next. They're now being hunted by the Royal Guards, and they're fleeing. And they end up in here. They lock the door. And you see tubes with the other Abyssinian symbiotes in there. Right. These things are noxious. Have their hive control systems. They transfer life energies up the pyramid. Every case I've ever seen leads to a viral speed spread and death within a year. They're so dangerous even the Empire doesn't risk weaponizing them. This colony appears to be stable. The Queen's been doing her thing for 100 years at least. And that's unprecedented and unprecedentedly scary. So anyway, Aphra's checking the schematics. And look at this. I'm convinced that this is the hive, from Resident Evil, because they throw little things like that in here from time to time. I'm sure this is the hive, because that certainly doesn't fit the configuration of the Tower of Citadel. Yes. So they need to get out, basically. Let's see. So Aphra tells them that her mother was killed in the chaos of the Clone Wars, and Luke says, well, my family was murdered by the Empire. And the Queen turns up. And she's got her hypno eyes on. She makes Luke kneel, but Aphra's got her goggles on and they're polarized, so her mind powers don't work on her. But she says, if you double-cross me again, Your Majesty, I'll blow him up. I slip charges into his pockets. I'll release this, and you're the proud owner of several litres of Jedi paint. So the Queen agrees to show her how to reactivate the crystal. But it all goes pear-shaped, and they all start fighting. Yes, so Han is also now under her control, which is not good. And Aphra's doing a runner. So Leia's saying we're not leaving Luke and Han no matter how incompetent they are. Let's see. Sana says, Princess, if it really came down to it, Han would leave nearly as fast as Aphra did. Leia says, you're all as bad as each other. BT, have you got enough explosives? And of course, BT has got enough explosives for everything. Now, Princess Leia 000 says, before we leave, I have a suggestion. I understand Abyssinian parasites do not like to be implanted in certain species. There is a reason for that. I do believe it may be advantageous in our current situation. So we shall pause it there and pick it up in the next part.